Remember back in 1101 when we did this assignment for tabular dimensioning, and you drew it in AutoCAD, and then you filled in a table that had the XY location for all the holes and the diameters, and it was kind of laborious, doing all that text and measuring and everything. Well, that's the way AutoCAD is. So we're doing it in Inventor this time, and so you'll model the part, put the holes in. That's not a problem for you. Um, and I did it. I made the center of this hole my XY origin over in the model. Just seemed to make sense. And pull it in. But we're actually going to do this on a B-size sheet. So let me change that. Oh, okay, so I've got my view here. Put in your center marks for everything. And because these things are lined up in a pattern, I just grabbed the end of the center mark and drug it out until it joined with the next one, because that's the way we would do it when we have things that line up like that, if it's at all possible. Okay, you don't always do those things, but like here, this one would make sense to do that, but it doesn't make sense to cross over other features. Okay, put in a bare minimum of dimensions for radius of both ends, the slot dimensions, and then we need an overall length and an overall height. Now these get a little difficult to do, trying to get a linear dimension on a rounded object. So the easiest way to hack this thing is to go from two other features that will create a linear dimension, and then come back in and select it and grab the handle and bring it up to the new location that I want. Okay, and then we'll edit it and go to precision tolerance and make it a reference dimension, because that's what it's going to be, a reference dimension. All right, and so that's the extent of our dimensioning. Now we're going to create a hole table. So on the annotate tab over here, hole, you hit the pull down and we got some options here. So the first one is you'll select which holes you want to include. In this case, we want all of the holes, with the exception of the slot, of course, because the slot's not a hole. I mean, it's a hole, but it's not a hole, if that makes any sense to you. So we're going to go with hole table for the view. And then I select the view, and then it asks me for the origin location. And so I want to zoom in and drop it on that center line of the circle. And now it asks me to place the table. So I'll pull over here and place my table. Okay. So that's got the bulk of our work done. Now, let's look at our table. We've got the description has everything, but because these holes go all the way through, we don't need a depth for every single one of them. So let's select our table and go right click and go edit hole table. And here's where you can change all the formats and, include different hole types. If you wanted to exclude some or include some, you can pull the whole thing in. Let's go to formatting. And on column chooser, I am going to go down and go hole diameter and go add. And I'm going to take description out. Okay. And go okay with that. 20, I think that width of 20 probably be okay. We'll see. And we'll apply that and see the change. Yeah, we need to change the width of that because that just looks weird. Come on. We'll make it 25. That looks a little better. Okay. And so that's got all my hole information in it. Now, it has an origin indicator, but we want to figure out a way to indicate the X and the Y locations. And so I found the best way is go ahead and pull that center line out, both directions. All right. And then we're going to create an arrowhead. And I found an easy way to do this and just reuse it is to create a sketch symbol. And so we're going to define a new symbol. And it opens up into a sketch mode here, but we're sketching, but it's not a sketch in the drawing like you would normally have a sketch. And so well, I'll tell you what, to start with, let's put a leader in so we've got a size that we're able to look at. Because unlike in AutoCAD, when we put leaders in Inventor, it always includes this shoulder, and I haven't found a good way to get rid of that. Okay. I don't know if these things will work or not. I found this a quick and easy way to deal with this. So now I go define a new symbol, and you can certainly draw it on top of it if you want to. That'd be a good way to copy the same size, if you will. And well, other than I can't see what I've got now, but I want to go hatch and fill in that arrowhead. So I'm going to go solid. And it selected it, so I'll say OK and finish my sketch, and I'm going to name it arrowhead. Now this is my leader, so well, all right. And so now I come up here and go insert sketch symbol, choose the arrowhead, go OK. Oh, it didn't hatch it. All right, so let's go back in here. Maybe I shouldn't have drawn it on top. So let's go edit symbol. Wow. There we go. Now I can hatch it. There, and finish sketch. Save edits, yes. And so there's my and I want to grab the green handle. Come on. To move it. And I want to line it up on top of that center mark that I drew. Okay. And then I'll put me a text box up above it and say Y. And so that indicates my Y-axis. And now I could do the same thing over here for my X-axis. I can go insert sketch symbol, choose the arrowhead, and let's rotate it. Let's see if 90 degrees is the right way. And zoom down, and I can place it while I'm looking. Hey, what do you know about that? And then put me a text box right there. And now I got my drawing with my little hole identifier numbers, all my data over here, and I can move these numbers if I need to. Like, so this E1 is kind of, I can move them around, and if I want to pull them off of, I can pull them out, and it will attach a leader to them. So if they get crowded or in too close, you can move them out, move them around a little bit, and it'll include leaders. So isn't that kind of cool looking a way to do things? I saw that. I figured that everybody would like to see how that works. Some, all right, if you got questions, come see us, send us an email, do this thing up, fill it all in, do a pack and go, send me your part file and your drawing.